Good evening, and welcome to another video on All How the Ale. Tonight we are going for a beer from St Peter's Brewery in Suffolk. Which one is it? It's this one. It is St Peter's Without Gold, and it is a 0% ABV golden ale. And it says on the back it's a delicious golden alcohol-free craft beer, which has a slightly sweet malt flavour combined with a citrus bitterness. Brewed with skill and patience at one of Britain's finest small breweries. And yeah, that's pretty much it. You've got your usual ingredients list of water, malted barley, maize, hops and yeast. So there's nothing kind of stand out there per se that's worth a note, but there is only 24 calories per 100 ml. So yeah, there's not a lot of calories in this here bottle. So I've had a few St Peter's beers, and one of them with the regular without was not my favourite beer in the world, let's put it that way. So I'm hoping this one's a little bit better. So let's, without further ado, get it open and into a glass. So we're pouring into a jump ship glass, and the pour is pale, very pale. See if we can encourage a bit of a head. There we go. So it's golden. You know, there's not a huge amount of haze or anything to it. You've got a white head about a finger's worth that is actually pretty decent, let's be honest. It's an alright looking beer. It's a little bit clear for my liking. I'd like a little bit more to it, but on the whole, it doesn't look terrible. So there's a bit of a close up there for you. Looks alright. Let's have a whiff. Not a lot going on, it really isn't. It's quite void of just about anything really. There's a little bit of malt, there's a subtle hop, and it's kind of a traditional English type hop. It's a little bit herbal, a little bit grassy, but it is so mild, you know, it wouldn't even get 1 chili on a heat rating. Yeah, it's really quite void of aroma, which is a shame, because I like a nice aroma in a beer. But yeah, so it looks okay. It smells of nothing. What does it taste like? Let's find out. It's got a decent body to it. I'll give it that off the bat. It has a decent body. It's got that same thing going on that I had in the original St Peter's Without that I was not a fan of. It's a little bit envelope glue like, and it's a little bit savoury and not to my liking. I mean, it is malty, there's no getting away from that. There's no hops really that I can nail down in any way, shape or form. Yeah, it's not for me, I'm going to be honest. It's not one for me. That tastes, it is malty and it's a little bit savoury. It's a little bit sweet on the malt at the end. Like I say, there's that envelope glue type thing going on. There is a little bit of bitterness on the back end. You could argue that it is kind of a pithy bitterness. And the finish is quite short and sweet, with a little hint of that bitterness just to balance out that finish. Yeah, it's almost like a malt loaf type thing. Doesn't work for me. Okay, pop that down there and go to the aid memoir from Untapped, which says St Peter's Without Gold has had 843 check-ins and an average of 2.29, which it's fair to middling, I suppose you could say, off the back of that. But what do I think of it on my scoreboard of joy with the 5 pillars of judgment? Let's pop that down there, move that out of the way. So the looks. It looked an alright beer. You know, it's a nice colour-ish. Could do with a bit more depth to it. The head was reasonable while it lasted. And it does leave quite a nice lacing on the glass. Yeah, I'll give it some points for the looks. Not masses. I mean, for the depth of colour, it could do with more. Otherwise, you know, it's not too bad looking. It's going to get the 0.75 because it fits the style pretty much. Aroma, there was none. So therefore, it's 0 from me on that one. The body, though, is a redeeming factor. It has got a nice unctuous body, which isn't really a normal thing that I would get in a golden ale. I expect that kind of body more on a stout. You know, it's verging on stout territory, which for a golden ale, especially alcohol-free, is incredible. It's just a shame it's not backed up in the flavour. So the body, I cannot fault. It's going to get a full point from me. The taste is where it starts to go wrong for me. And it's malty and far too malty for my liking. And I like them malty, but it just doesn't suit the style. It's a little bit bran flaky, a little bit Weetabixy, with no real evidence of anything else of flavour. It's not for me, I'm afraid. It can get another 0 there. And the finish. I like a little bit of that bitterness. I do. I don't normally expect it in a golden ale. Maybe on an old pale or an IPA, definitely. But it has got a bit of bitterness and I do enjoy it. And that bitterness is lasting quite a while. And I like that. I'm going to give it some point for that. I'm going to give it some score. I can't go crazy high because there is still that Weetabixy type thing going on that is not to my liking at all. I'm going to give it a half for that bitterness alone, which gives it a total of 2.25 out of 5 on the old Untapped score sheet of joy, which, let's be honest, is pretty close to the average score that it's got overall at 2.29. So I'm going to say this one I won't be buying again, but if you like them malty and biscuity, I say biscuity, Weetabixy, then this could be right up your alley. I can't imagine there's many people like that, but no, if it is your bag, give it a try. It's just not for me. So we're going to say, ladies and gents, boys and girls, down there are some buttons. You know exactly what to do with them by now. You've got like, comment, dislike, and subscribe. Choose any combination of them as you wish, and do let me know in the comments section below if you've tried St. Peter's without gold before, and what you thought of it. Do you agree with me? Is it a bit Weetabixy, or is there something there that you love? On that note, I'm going to go and drink the rest of this one, possibly, and get it uploaded for your viewing pleasure. Catch you all soon for another one. Bye.